Having just seen Cloverfield, what actually impresses me the most about it is simply how effective it is. This is a very well-done horror movie. I thought it would be a gimmick wrapped around a shoddy plot, but no, actually they used the camera point of view throughout the movie very effectively in a couple of different ways, and that they'd use it in that an ordinary shot film would not work. I had some mediocre expectations going in. I'm certainly aware of the gimmick. I can't believe it was 10 years ago the Blair Witch Project came out, but I remember being really excited about that. And that ended up being a little kind of low budget, not very impressive. This movie actually has a very big, or not a very big budget, but it looks like it has very good production values. Much better than the impression I got even from the previews. There's good scenes of monster destruction, etc., which kind of counterbalances with your kind of realize you're looking through a video camera the whole time. But let me just say that they use the camera gimmick very well. We have some kind of old footage on the tape that we see periodically as the tape's rewound or fast forward that kind of shows from like a happier time. It gives us a little backstory on the characters, very small but a little bit. There is a clever use of night vision at least once in the film that I can't imagine that being done another way, but just works really well. But most of all, we are given the impression, or we have the feeling of true terror because we're seeing exactly what the characters are seeing. We don't get any distant points of view shots so we can kind of get the bigger picture of what's going on. We know only what the characters know, which isn't very much. There's a couple of times the movie cheats a little bit where we had the cameras focused on a TV screen showing kind of news footage of what's happening from a distance, but that's very infrequent. Another effective use of it is when the camera is sort of dropped or not looking in the right direction from where the real action's going on, and what we're seeing is kind of the edge of a battle or destruction wrapping around us that we're running from, and it actually works really well. We also only see the creature in small pieces for the majority of the film. Kind of an angle of it is kind of darting between buildings from a distance, or we're just looking up at it for a second as it passes by overhead. But this works very well. And the monster, by not seeing all of it, certainly does add to it, rather than if we just sat back and watched it do its thing from for a distance for a few minutes. As a matter of fact, though, since we saw the monster from so many different angles, I'm not actually sure if they didn't cheat when we saw it from different angles, that if you try to draw it out in every scene, if I was asked to describe the monster, I don't know if I could, because we never really saw it that good of a shot from that good of a distance to really pick it all out. But it is kind of an interesting monster, and the fact that we don't really know its origins, is from an asteroid, from underwater, we don't know, doesn't matter. Very effective. Overall, I want to say that the movie is good. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's a little short, but not in a bad way. It actually works for the film. What we see, we're not wishing we saw a lot more, since the movie does move along pretty briskly. There's a little bit of motion sickness some people complain about. My friend who manages a theater says that a handful of people every showing kind of ask for their money back, saying they can't handle it. I understand that. It doesn't really bother me, but I believe it. Some people can't handle a very jerky camera, and this is. Pretty much that's it. I recommend this highly. Enjoy.